Do you already use SharePoint in your company? Are you only using it for basic document storage? What if I tell you that SharePoint can do so much more? SharePoint is the perfect base to transform your workflows, to digitize them and to automate them. Whether you're a developer or a person without technical knowledge, SharePoint offers the right tools for you. In this video, I'm going to show you why SharePoint is the perfect base to transform your workflows. Why is SharePoint the perfect platform to digitize your workflows? You are already using Microsoft 365. So you're using Microsoft Teams, OneNote, Planner, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and so on. Why don't you combine all of them to a whole workflow hub? And that's what's possible with SharePoint. And what's even more important, if you transform your team to your new workflow, to your modernized process, you don't need that much onboarding or support from the dev team because all the tools are already known in your team. They are used to it, and so they will get to know the new workflow better, easier, and quicker. Security is always an important topic, especially when introducing new software tools to your company. That's something you never need to worry about when using SharePoint for modernizing your processes. With SharePoint, your data will never leave your company. It always stays in your environment. That means your IT security team will love your SharePoint solutions. When starting a digital transformation, it's better to start small than to go big in the beginning. That's perfectly possible with SharePoint. You can start with basic, small workflows and then enhance them, or then go step by step to more bigger and complex ones. So SharePoint scales with your digital transformation, and it also scales with your company. So no matter how many users are using your workflows, they always will work. And if you have to make any enhancements because your processes go bigger and increase in complexity, you can always do that. If you introduce a new standard software tool to your company, there are always boundaries. They have fixed processes your workflow has to adapt to. But in my opinion, that's not the right way. I think it's better to adapt the tool to your workflow than the workflow to the new tool. And that's what's perfectly possible with SharePoint. SharePoint solutions are highly customizable. It's your process which is in the new software solution. And the fact that it's your process, that the team knows the process, makes user adoption a lot higher. They don't need to get used to a new process and a new tool. They just need to get used to a new tool, and that makes it easier for your team. In the beginning, I mentioned that SharePoint is a great platform for process modernization, also for users without deep technical knowledge. And that's especially the case if you use it in combination with a low-code tool. There are various tools which you can use in combination with SharePoint. They make it possible to develop entire solutions with simple or complex workflows without any programming knowledge. That's a big relief for non-technical users, which can build their solutions themselves, but also for developers. They don't need to build every workflow, and they can build rapid prototypes a lot quicker and easier, which makes the communication between the department which wants the new solution and the IT department a lot easier. Low-code tools also makes it easier to onboard new IT devs, because it's easier to use. They can quickly jump into existing solutions. They don't need that much onboarding time. But there is always the possibility to make custom developments and to really dive deep into the solutions with custom code, custom APIs, integrate external services, and so on. So that all makes SharePoint a great solution for non-technical and technical users in combination with low-code tools. Before we wrap up, let's quickly address some common concerns we often hear when it comes to the topic of digitization with SharePoint. If you rely on an external software tool, you never know how long this tool will exist. Maybe they shut it down, maybe they update it in a way so it's not usable anymore for you. But if you rely on SharePoint, you rely on an infrastructure layer which is based on the M365 ecosystem, which is further developed by Microsoft and which is part of the future roadmap of Microsoft. So it's really safe to rely on that platform for transforming your processes in workflows. Digital transformation can be super expensive, especially if you rely a lot on custom development. That's never the case if you digitize your workflows with SharePoint. SharePoint is a platform which is in the M365 ecosystem. So if you, for example, use Microsoft Teams, you're already using SharePoint. You're already paying for it. So it perfectly makes sense to use SharePoint for your process digitization than to spend a lot of money on other external tools. Use the tools you already have. To sum up, SharePoint is a great platform to transform your workflows. Whether you're a non-technical user building solutions with a low-code tool or a developer looking for a platform to build custom solutions, SharePoint is always the right choice. If you have a process in mind which you want to digitize, but you're not sure if SharePoint is the right platform for the job, contact us. We're always happy to help you free of charge. If you want to learn more about how to build smart SharePoint solutions, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.